It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's the Brian and Kindra Show, and we're pre-recording again.
We are. So between, the radio station has had some things, so we haven't been able to be there, and then we've had me out of town in September for my grandmother whenever we were dealing with her funeral, and then, you were on vacation last week, and right now I'm on vacation.
Yes.
I've been dying to say that, because,
We're on the way. Are we? This feels like vacation.
Super confusing, because I'm actually right here in the office, but I'm sure I'm on vacation as I'm speaking, and you're hearing me. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going somewhere.
Stream. Okay.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to execute. Tomorrow we have a meeting in Enid.
Yes.
And so you promised that we could stop by Academy and I can find a tent that I can put up all by myself.
Yes.
Right?
Sure, we can do that.
Do you think I can do that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Last night I said to my daughter, hey, so I'm going to camping by myself. And her eyes big as saucers. I said, no, I don't know how to start a campfire.
Thank goodness I don't have to go? Or what's today?
No, she loves to go. She's, hey. My kids like me, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, right? I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe I won't do that. But it's a thought.
You will find something to do.
Yes, I am. I'm going to find something. I've got a little list of things in my brain, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something. Whenever I come back, they'll be like, what'd you do? And I'll be like, sit down, we've got a whole list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we'll give tips for the next guy that wants a road trip.
They'll be like, that sounds terrible.
No, and so we're going to
I have
Wichita.
my own idea of fun.
Because our whole plans changed, and we were going to do something, and then we're not. Now we are, and I don't know. We may not. We may change our minds.
So here's what you've said. I've never heard these words out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So I've known Carrie Ann since high school.
Yep.
So I met you whenever she was in college dating you, right?
Yes.
I have never, ever, ever heard you say, I don't know, I think I just want to sit down. What? Are you sick? Do you need more bacon?
Well, yes. Well, after I've said that and the thought of it for 3 days.
Did you get scared?
I can't do it. So they're like, we're going to go to Wichita, and I'm like, all right. Get the calendar out. We're going to start. What's the agenda? What's the agenda?
Don't agenda them to death. That's not very nice.
Yes. Well, I'm going to agenda my time.
Yeah, okay, I
And
see.
if they want to come, they can come.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's funny, is Carrie Ann is the one that was like, here's all the things we're doing. I thought, this does not look like sitting.
That's awesome.
It'd be great.
All right, so what else? What else is there that we need to... Next week we're going to talk about Halloween, you said.
It will be the week. It'll be the 20, yes.
Yeah.
28th.
Remember, because
Yes.
this is actually not today.
This
It's
is very
next
hard.
week today.
Yeah.
What's really fun is trying to get the articles ready, because Carrick sends them to me to
Yes.
review and revamp a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know how far ahead we are. Do you know how far ahead we are? I think we're 2-3 weeks ahead on our articles. And I'm like, I'm just sending them back to Carrick. You send them in, because I'm going to screw this up, man. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
So we need to talk about maybe haunted houses on Halloween week somehow.
Today we had a fun discoverwoodward.com video
Yep.
with Kyle Kinsey at Longshots.
Yes.
And I did not know that he said that his building has some fun. Can we talk about this?
I don't know.
Okay, y'all need to watch the video, because he was saying that there's some fun things that happen at Longshots. It sounds like after hours or before hours,
Yes.
maybe. But my favorite was, okay, you just watched the video.
Yeah.
It sounded exciting. I'm all pumped. Super pumped. Okay.
We also had
What else?
somebody else in our studio.
Yes,
a few
we had
minutes
good
ago.
to go. Mine is all empty and looks
Mhm.
terrible. Yeah, because you had that meeting and I just
It's
kept
all
dozing
whipped
off.
cream now.
Hey,
Ooh, sugar
whipped
high.
cream is life.
Sugar high for the.
So you didn't want whipped cream on yours?
No, I do. I like whipped cream.
Okay, good. Because whenever I was ordering everybody's, I was like, yes, yes, yes. And I thought, oh, I just ordered for me.
So that's all right. It's good stuff.
Yep. Okay, so today we're going to talk about virtual tours, the benefits of having them, and some tips and tricks to make them best.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll
Okay.
be right back.
Great.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
and Jackie Jones
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the mortgage department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297, phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
I just cracked you up, didn't I? We're back.
We're back.
Okay, so this table that Brian has us, so if you're on the radio, you can't see this, but this table that Brian set up in the studio, and then the
It's
chairs
like
that he
neck-high.
put with the, it's because these chairs are like for kindergartners. So for me particularly, I'm like have to stretch up super, super high so that I don't look like I'm,
They don't have
somebody
phone
said it
books
a minute
anymore.
ago. Like, it's like we're at the adult table, and I'm like, for reals, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm a little 5-year-old and I don't belong here. It's fine. Can you do this without me?
Nope.
All right, so let's talk first.
Okay.
Actually, first things first, I started to go with benefits of a virtual tour, but let's even get down to the heart of the matter. Sometimes I think people interchangeably use the terms a video tour and video tour. Tour?
Tour.
You
And
say it?
and like a walkthrough tour, video
Yes.
tour. Yep.
Okay, and they use it interchangeably with a virtual tour.
Mhm.
And we use the term Matterport. That's actually the company of the camera system that we use to do our virtual tours.
Right.
So what is the difference between a video or walkthrough tour and a virtual tour?
So there's several differences. So one, an agent will just take their phone and walk through the house at their pace and talk about the highlights of the home with an iPhone or a camera, and they'll just record themselves talking through the house. So that's kind of a video walkthrough tour. And then they also have, they call them virtual tours, but they're just a collage of photos.
Right. I worked with an agent one time, and she said, everybody keeps calling this a virtual tour. It's not a virtual tour. It's just a bunch of pictures that slide through a show real quick.
Yeah, so that's a slideshow.
Right.
That's a difference.
It's a slideshow.
And then our virtual tour is controlled. You control the pace. You control where you're at in the picture. You want to spend more time scouting out the kitchen cabinets. What kind of cabinets are they? Is that granite? You know,
Right.
what kind of refrigerator is that? You know, do they have nice windows? You know, what kind of textures on the wall? Like, they're pretty detailed.
Legit. Very, very detailed.
Can I, in fact, our camera.
I want to
is
say
way
it. I
ahead.
want to say it.
We can order
Oh.
floor plans.
Yes.
So we don't order them every time because it costs us extra, and sometimes the measurements are a little off, and
Right.
we want to make sure that somebody's ordering them, we can get that corrected for them exactly like they need. But it's a really good representation. I had a guy remodeling an office, and he's like, "Hey, I'll
Right.
pay you whoever your professional photographer guy is to go do our virtual tour."
Yeah, let me call the 17-year-old girl.
Yes. So she went over a virtual tour of the property, and then we submitted it in for the blueprints.
Right.
And then it didn't cost us, it cost us money, time and energy, and then the floor plan thing. And so we did that for them. And then they used it in the remodel plan.
Right.
And so instead of having to redraw the whole property, they used this floor plan and just confirmed the numbers. And it helped them out hours of time substantially by getting that done.
Okay, I'm going to totally rewind
Okay.
and go back to something that you said. I want to talk about how the Matterport system works, how our virtual tour system works. First and foremost, I don't think people understand exactly how tasking taking the virtual tour is, because it doesn't sound like a big deal. But one of our sellers even, she had messaged a couple times and said, are they still at the house? Are they still at the house? Hey, is your girl still at the house? Yes, it's a big house. But they take a scan every 6 to 8 feet on the perimeter of each room. If it's a really big room, they might take a couple of spots in the middle of the room so you can walk across the room so you can have a better vantage point of what you're seeing. So if you can picture 6 to 8 scans of every room in your house, each scan is what, a minute to 2 minutes?
No, less than a minute, right at
Oh, I thought they were right at 60 seconds. It used to be 60 to 90 seconds.
Well, it
I
depends
thought,
how
but-
fast the iPad is. So we've got new iPads to speed
Well,
that
there
process up.
is that. So that whole technology booger. But anyway, so point being, it takes a couple of hours for most of our virtual tours, but a bigger house might take 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yes.
And that one I think took 5 hours. Our
We've
girl
done
was out
some
there forever.
commercial property that, and when you get into a huge open space,
Right.
it's just imagine a grid of every 6 or 8 feet across the entire
Right.
100 by 80 span. There's a lot. So
it takes some time, and
Yeah.
that's how it works. And then you can follow those little circles to go around the room to see to see the different vantage points and the different views of the room that you're in. Okay, so the second part of that I think is super interesting, I want to make sure people know is, like from the selling position, if you haven't paid a lot of attention to the virtual tours, they are so detailed. So thankfully technology has changed, so now we don't do this as much, but I remember one of the first virtual tours that I did, a house here in town, and I went and did the virtual tour myself. It was before we were using 17-year-old girls. And is that because our professional photographers are your daughter?
Yes.
It used to be my daughter, now it's your daughter. So anyway, and Cassie, we've got
Yes,
a new
we
girl.
do.
She's not 17, and she is absolutely fantastic. She
Yes.
does a great job. So anyway, so I'm doing this virtual tour. I come back to my office, and everything is uploaded. It takes about 24 hours for it all to upload, and then I can pull photographs from the virtual tour. And as I'm looking at it, I remember sitting in my chair and just kind of, as a mother, I had this huge panic, like, oh my gosh, because the pictures are so clear from the virtual tour. I'm like, oh my Lord, she has 4 children. They're all blonde hair and blue-eyed, and now everybody in America can see them.
yes.
Because it was so picture perfect clear. So now we have a face imaging, what am I trying to say? A face blurring
Software.
feature?
Yeah,
I don't
feature
know.
to blur the software. In fact, you can go in
Yes.
there and blur other stuff.
Yeah, so
Yes.
very cool deal, and because it just gives them a little bit more safety and security, but that detail is what makes a virtual tour, our system, so fantastic. Because I can really zoom in and see, wow, those are nice vinyl windows, or my house, oh, that's the original windows.
And like,
That girl needs to clean.
yes, you can definitely see that.
So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I think that's super important. I like that. Now, why would I want to do a video tour or a virtual tour? I want to specifically talk about virtual tours because that's what we do.
Yes, well, I see a need for a video tour.
Okay,
But it
why?
needs to be live. Hey, I want to go, I have questions about this. Can I'm in South Carolina.
I have FaceTimed a number of
Yes.
clients so
And
that
that's-
they could see it when they're not local.
Right, because I like to be able to control
Right.
which part of the house I'm looking at, when I'm looking at it. And then the virtual tour, it's, I don't care about the whole house. I want to see the kitchen or I want to see the garage. So you got to scroll that thing over.
Right.
It could be 15, 20 minutes.
I'm
I don't
super
know.
impatient. I know you know this.
Any coffee now, I'm going by.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it's hard for me to watch a video tour if somebody else is in charge of the camera because I'm like, I don't care about the kitchen. We all know I'm not going to cook, and if I do, it's just going to set off the fire alarm. So we make these jokes all the time, and it is so not true. People are probably like, man, that lady. You guys, I can cook. I've cooked twice this week already, and it's only Tuesday. Okay, but for reals, like the video tour is hard for me. Like I
Yes.
like the virtual tour because I like to be able to get where I want to be Because I want to see the kitchens, I want to see the bathrooms, and I want to see how big the master bedroom is.
Right.
I mean, I don't care about my kids. Just kidding. That's not true. I hope people know that too. Okay, so video tour though, they are super helpful, especially if, like you said with the live thing, and to be able to do that when you're with somebody, talking to them FaceTime or whatever, so they can interact better.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
All right, super cool. Okay, so a benefit of Matterport, we had a seller text us today, and she said, "Hey, gonna have to quarantine for a bit because you know the COVID." And so, did you just roll your eyes? So rude. All right, so huge benefit to having these virtual tours during our time of quarantine. Whenever everybody was shut down, we were still sending out the virtual tour videos and saying this is, and you can just about buy a house from a virtual tour at this point.
Yes.
It's pretty impressive.
We try not to do occupied houses virtual tour unless they're very.
That's not true. I tried to do all of them virtual.
Well, we try to do them all, but
tell you.
Well, some of them that are occupied and all their stuff's in
Very
there,
busy.
and they're busy, or cluttered, and then, but we still want to do the virtual tour because,
Right.
like today,
Best pictures ever.
like today, if somebody wanted to go look at that house,
We
occupied
couldn't.
or not, we couldn't do it.
Right.
I've got somebody that's wanting to view the house that just called me from Missouri. He's getting the virtual tour here as soon as we're done.
Absolutely.
And then if he still loves it, then I can say, hey, you can't come see it live for whatever, 14 days.
Right.
But if you have any questions or any more, you want any more detail, that you have any measurements you need or brands or whatever.
Right.
What does that pad taste like that's on the counter? You let me know.
All right, so there's a benefit.
Yes.
Okay, so to prepare for a virtual tour,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost more important to prepare for the virtual tour than it even is for a showing.
Yes.
Which sounds crazy, but when I'm in person, it's easier for me to kind of go, oh, I see, that if I move this, it's going to look different. So for the virtual tour, I think I need to be even more careful
Yes.
with how I have things laid out. And so where do you want to begin? First things first, I think lighting.
Lighting is a biggie, I think. Even though our camera does a fantastic job merging and bracketing the light, which means it takes a dark, a medium, and a bright photo and merging them to get the best picture. It does that automatically, but still, your lighting is very important.
It is. Those. So my kids used to do the virtual tours. So my son started, and then my daughter, and then we moved to your daughter, and then now we have Cassie as well. So my son, I remember, I think it was my son, to this day will tell us that this is my favorite virtual tour. It had everything to do with the lighting of the house. There were lots of windows, and I think it's really, I think that just speaks volumes to how we view a property. Because when I drive him by the house, he's like, "That's the one." I'm like, "Yeah, it was all about the lighting, all about the lighting." And so I think that's super important. So we try to have the blinds opened appropriately so that we have good natural light coming in, but where it's not too much, because you can see out the windows too, and so sometimes that's distracting. From the virtual tour, you can see who's driving by, like who did the virtual tour because you can see the car in the yard.
Yep.
So we try to have the blinds open appropriately. We have the windows on, ceiling fans. We try to have those turned off.
Yep.
So lamps on.
All the doors have to be open, and this is a complicated one.
Man, this is where it gets tricky.
Because you have to have every door, because if you move something, it can mess up the virtual tour. So like if you want the garage to be included in your virtual tour, the garage door has to stay open.
Right.
And then like
And some of y'all's doors don't stay open.
yes, you get creative.
Once in a while, you're gonna have a shoe in your virtual tour holding the door open.
So it's a great. So that comes back to lighting, and then number two, in my opinion, would be storage.
What do you mean by that?
So like, if I take a picture of your kitchen, I can count the number of cabinets and kind of figure out what that looks like, or your pantry, which sometimes we don't get into the pantries because they're cluttered and full of stuff. And so if you're doing a virtual tour on your property, it may be a great idea to take half of your food out of your pantry, shove it in a box, stick it in the garage. So it looks like there's room in there.
Right.
Maybe a good idea to open some cabinets so they can see that you've got pulley-outy cabinets, or we can stage any of that stuff to make it so it's permanent into the video.
Absolutely.
So I think storage is a big deal because the next thing is to be there's clutter. So if you've got
I was wondering if we were going to talk about clutter.
king of clutter.
Well, I
I'm talking
can't
to my
say
wife.
anything.
She said,
So Carrie-Ann's like, that's the truth.
That's it's him.
I can't say
I'm not
anything
sure.
because Laura came into the office on Monday and goes, "Whoa, you cleaned your office finally." She didn't really say finally, but we both felt it. It was getting kind
Both
of
waiting
bad.
for me to do that.
No, I'm not saying a word. Not a word. All right, so because the busier that you get, the cluttery,
Yes.
the more cluttered, and we've been busy, so we're kind of
Yep.
catching up again. But so in our homes, though, we want to really reduce the clutter as much as we can. So keeping things put away, and you just said open your cabinets, so I don't know where I'm going to put everything. Except I will tell you this: last time I moved, I was more than happy to get a storage building, and I packed as much stuff away in the interim of my moving.
We'll throw in our program.
Oh, we have a great program. It's a Home Ready program.
Yes.
So you tell me that you're ready to list, and I send you this link, and it will stress you out. I'm going to go ahead and just say it. I think that you roll your eyes when I say it, but when I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, and I think I'm pretty simplistic. So not simple, y'all. But I don't have a lot of stuff. So, but I mean, really, it really helps you to get down to the bare necessities and just a couple of very simple decorations. And that's what's going to do the best for the virtual tour.
Yes.
So the Home Ready program, we send you a link, you watch the videos, it tells you how to
Take it
tidy
step
your
by
house.
step, one step at a time. It does look daunting, but I think
It does, but
just
one
take-
step at a time.
Playing,
Start in the living room,
start
go
in
to
the
the
living room,
kitchen.
playing movie night, put the kids in the movie and tackle that room.
Don't get confused and tackle the kids.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what else?
We got lots of other stuff. So, restricted mobility. So, people wheelchair access, and they're looking for mom to come stay with them. They're looking for, can I get wheelchair in the shower? And they're contemplating future mobility issues. You can rule out a ton of houses real fast.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
with the virtual tour, it's going to help to be able to see. It's hard to tell really the width of a hallway, but usually there's something to help you kind of have a guide
Yes.
of whether or not it's going to work or not. Oh, this house is super choppy, or this house is nice and open, and so it's easier for me to be able to tell if I'm going to be okay with my walker.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break and give our sponsors a shout out for helping us put this show on, and then we'll be right back.
With my walker.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861. All right, we're back.
Say it right now.
Say what?
Say it.
Say.
We make all these jokes about my cooking all the time.
She makes a really mean apple pie.
I do make a
really
fantastic.
For sure.
I can cook.
I don't know about any other
I
stuff.
do not start fires in my house.
Other food.
And I'm telling you, the problem is just that the smoke detector is like this far from the oven. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
so we should do
that's the problem.
Smoked chicken wrapped with bacon and apple pie someday.
I'll make an apple pie.
Because I can cook the rest of it.
I can make a pie in that kitchen.
And then, yeah. So
I can cook. Like, we make all these jokes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people are gonna think I'm terrible.
Yep.
I do cook too. I can cook. Just
keep
not
the rest
sure.
of that conversation. Okay.
And I don't really have a walker. Okay, but I mean, there's still time for that. All right, so what's next?
Okay. Well, we was talking about virtual tours and making it easier to sell your house, or if you're buying a house, it helps you kind of rule out things. So here's my concern with the virtual tour.
Okay.
Sometimes you rule a house out
because of the virtual tour.
Oh, unnecessarily. That's where you're trying
Yes.
to go a minute ago with
Yep.
Grandma on the walker, and I'm all taking it the wrong way.
Well, no, and so I'm a big fan of getting my truck, and we just go look at houses.
Right.
And I'm going to drag you through some houses you hate. I'm going to drag you through some houses that are like, there is no way this thing's going to work.
And a lot of times you're surprised. Like, we
Right.
walk in and we go, oh my gosh, this is the one.
Right. Well, it's because I need to feel what you're looking for. I need to know what you're looking for. You need to tell me, man, I love this kitchen. I hate this bathroom. I need a 3-car garage, not a half-car garage. And I put all that together in my brain and go find you a house. But if you're a virtual tour, if you, just be careful not to rule too many out.
Right,
Because we're probably still going to go back and look at some of those once you get here live. But we wanted to say that. And then, but it does save you time. Like, there's going to be some obvious, like, man, I'm not redoing that kitchen. There is no way. I don't care how.
That's what I was just thinking. There's
house.
some obvious things. Like, if I know I refuse to peel wallpaper another time, this is so not true. I totally would peel wallpaper. But if I were like, no more, then it's obvious for me on a virtual tour if I'm cool or not. I just need to know if a half-car garage is a motorcycle garage.
No, that's one of those where they've moved the garage door out.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks. I'm like, what is he talking about? This is a new real estate term. They don't have that on the multiple estate service.
Okay.
3-bed, 2.5 bath, and a half-car garage. All right, so what's next? I'm totally making you take the lead because you've heard all the stuff and I didn't read any of it.
And, well, we didn't. It was like, hey, you want to record next week's show?
Hey,
Yeah, let's do that. What are we going to talk
I'm not
about?
coming back.
I don't know. Let's talk about, I don't know.
Okay, so here's one of the things that I read a minute ago that I thought
Okay.
was super important. It was talking about how first impressions are everything, and whenever you walk into a home and you're usually greeted with a pleasant fragrance, so fresh baked bread is one of the things I suggested, which we don't really see that in Woodward. But you know, the whole idea of you bake chocolate chip cookies before you have an open house and your house smells yummy, people come in, it feels homey, and then you're excited and you want the house, right? So you can't do that with a virtual tour. So you have to do everything that you can to make your house feel homey as somebody is walking through it virtually. I think that that's the best. It's one more time going back to, you have to go into your own home and look at it with brand new eyes and say, okay, what do I see that needs to be moved? What do I see that I love? What do I see that I hate? So that you can address those issues before you do the virtual tour. I think that's the important thing. And again, take your friends through it. I saw a post today that said, do you want somebody to tell you the truth with a spoonful of sugar, or do you want a straight shooter? You need to bring your straight shooter over and go through the house with you and say, this is gonna distract. This is gonna distract her. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Where's your yellow pillow? Like, get your yellow pillow on your couch. Right. So you see what I'm saying? I think that's the thing.
It is. So we're about out of time, so I'm going to talk about statistics.
No, you don't.
I'm going to do it. It's 57 seconds. Oh. Statistically, 60% of viewings are done in the evenings and weekends. Well, so everybody's at home 60.
Right.
So a virtual tour is a fantastic option to go look at houses. And then here's the fun one. 75% of people interviewed that are buyers prefer to interact with a virtual tour first over photos before they go view the property.
Absolutely, I get that.
So 75% of the people are virtual touring your property before they go look at it live.
I think that's great.
You better have a great virtual tour or you're going to miss out.
So call us and let us do it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so call me and I'll get you scheduled for us to come and do a listing appointment, and then we can schedule your virtual tour after that. I'm 216-0090.
And I'm 334-2303.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.